This is one I think we need to spend a little bit of time on. From Nevada, as it became the latest state to make it legal for illegal immigrants to apply for driver's licenses, the DMV was flooded with illegals looking for driver's licenses. Louie, your thoughts on this one?
It comes back to the rule of law. Either we're a nation of laws and nobody is above the law, and we're going to apply it across the board like the Old Testament, New Testament talk about. Without partiality, you're going to enforce the law and be just. You can't be just if you're just ignoring parts of the law like this. And there are consequences for a society that does so.
Bob, so these illegals have flooded the DMV. I'm thinking if I'm an ICE agent and I want to find some illegals, I could go to the DMV and find a whole bunch of them.
Right. Well, first of all, I don't, it says something about this if they're illegally here and they're getting licenses, which I frankly don't have a problem with that because I think it's a good idea. They're going to be driving anyway. It's probably a better idea that they have a license, they're insured. But why? It seems to me almost like you're breaking the law by giving. In other words, if you're with the DMV and you're an agent of the state essentially, and you give this out, you know that they're not here legally. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't want to necessarily agree with Louie on too many things tonight, but this one is one I have a little difficult time with.
Your thoughts, Sarah?
Look, I think we shouldn't be surprised that states are doing this. We're not seeing Congress do anything on this. I mean, the Senate passed a bill, and they sent it over to you guys in the House. You guys haven't passed anything on immigration. You guys have held some hearings. You guys haven't had any votes. The fact that states are going to need to
Okay,
do
here we get the Wall
that?
Street Journal, the big business. We need all this cheap labor for our businesses, but the fact is, and this is where I have a real problem with the Wall Street Journal, the law needs to be enforced across the board, and these businesses that think that we can just ignore the law and their business will be protected are so wrong. We've got to follow the law, and the one bill on immigration we should pass is my resolution I filed last summer that says once the borders are secured as confirmed by the border states, then we will immediately move and get immigration bills done.
There's another piece of this, which is I have yet to see too many businessmen brought indicted for breaking the law by hiring these people. I mean, that's one of the things that bothers me.
And we have bills that will address that.
Can I get the Wall Street Journal, the business advocate in here? Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I don't work for our editorial page. I'm a reporter, so I'm independent. But I would say that I think that what the state is trying to do is try to instill some semblance of law. The fact is these people are driving, and they probably don't have car insurance because they don't have licenses. So if you're going to get hit by someone in a car, don't you wish that person had insurance?
I want to save a little time because earlier tonight we heard Senator Rand Paul announce that his lawsuit, he's going to sue President Barack Obama. One of the first of its kind. I think it's big news, Bob. Your thoughts on Senator Rand Paul's lawsuit?
On the NSA lawsuit?
Yes, sir.
I think it's...
well, he's actually suing the Obama administration.
Right. I mean, I think it's... Look, you know where my position has been on this from the beginning. I think it's unconstitutional what the NSA is doing and has been done, and now a federal court judge decides that it's okay to do it. I don't know who left their copy of the Constitution back at home, but the idea that they can randomly go through and look at our phone records is just beyond the pale. And if it requires suing the administration, so be it.
Go ahead, Louie. And this is one of those issues that isn't left or right partisan.
It isn't. There were liberal Democrats that would agree strongly in judiciary. And the fact is, just like Bob said, I don't care what your position is politically, a judge, and I've reviewed many affidavits, signed many warrants, you've got to have specificity under our Constitution, and there's got to be probable cause. And I know there are those that say, yeah, but they're phone logs. They're like pen registered. You don't have a privacy interest in them. Yes, we do. And that needs to be fixed, and I think we've got people in a bipartisan
So we have a lefty and a righty
position.
who agree with that. What about down the middle?
I just think, and I was telling you guys this earlier, it does not seem like very smart security. It's like everyone goes to the airport and everyone goes through the same metal detector and everyone is treated the exact same way. You know, the reason that we find a lot of things that are about to happen in airports is because we have some piece of intelligence that warns us about a person. It's not because we caught them in the metal detector with everyone else.
We got to leave it right there. Coming up, a nor'easter slams a large portion of the country and brings frigid temperatures along with it, but we've managed to find an outspoken global warming alarmist who still thinks climate change is happening. I'll go head to head